In this video, we're going to discuss a couple different chase bar options. We're then going to install this third brake light replacement on a 21 and up Ford Bronco. These are chase bars. What are chase bars? Why would you want a chase bar? Imagine you're with a bunch of friends and you're driving down a real dusty trail. The last thing you want to do is have somebody with an off-road vehicle, say with a metal front bumper, rear end you. So of course you want to be seen. It's going to be a safety feature, but there's also other benefits like having an additional reverse light or an additional turn signal. Let's dive into the rigid bars. There's vehicle specific models and there's a bar like this. This bar right here is a universal bar. I want to just show you guys this because this is much different than a third brake light replacement that I'm going to install on the Bronco. This bar does have a lot of different features. It has the turn signals, it's got the Knight Rider swiping effect, it's got a brake light, it's got reverse lights built in. This is the Mac Daddy of all of them, and if you want the best chase bar, I definitely could recommend this. Now, this is not going to work on the Ford Bronco with a soft top, so what we're going to install is this right here. You got features like this, which is the brake light, and then you also got things like reverse light. This is actually brighter than I believe that backup light boost bar we did in another video on the Ford Bronco. You also have a driving light. There's also a courtesy light that is right on the bottom here like that. So this is pretty cool. And like I said, this is vehicle specific. So we're gonna install this on a Bronco, but they also make these for Jeep owners as well. Remove the 3 bolts holding on your spare tire. Next, open up your tailgate. We're going to remove the plastic trim from the inside of the tailgate by gently pulling on the left side to disengage the clips holding it in place. Disconnect the 2 wire connectors. The top connector is for the third brake light. Bottom is for the rear camera. Remove the wiring from the vehicle by pinching the white plastic and the seal, pushing it out through the opening. Next, we're going to remove all 8 existing factory bolts on each side using a 13mm socket. These will be reused and attach the tire back to the vehicle after the light is installed. With the tire carrier removed from the vehicle, remove the 4 existing factory bolts holding the stock brake light and the carrier using a T30 Torx. Then remove the 8 screws from the brake light assembly using a T25 Torx. Separate the assembly and remove the wire harness by disconnecting it from the stock third brake light. Cut off the factory brake light connector from the wire harness and strip the ends of the 2 wires. Now we're going to pin the connectors included in the kit. Install one side of the 6-pin connector to the stock brake light wire harness. Make sure to pin each connector so that the ground from the light and the stock harnesses are connected, and the other onto the chase light wire ingress. Also so that the power wire of the stock harness is connected to the white wire of the chase lamp. The other 4-pin locations are available if you want to use the other chase light functions. Now we can reinstall the mount for the wheel. Reinstall the 8 factory bolts using that 13mm socket. Reinstall the tire carrier by feeding the stock wire harness back through the hole in the tailgate, securing the seal plug back into place, and then reconnect the harness from step 2, and you're good to go. Don't forget to also reinstall that plastic cover. Place spare tire on the back of the carrier using the stock lug nuts on the bottom and the 2 supplied extended lug nuts using a 3/4 inch deep socket from the top mounting locations. Install the chase light onto the brackets using the supplied socket head bolts included with the light. Install this assembly onto the remaining bracket piece using the supplied M6 hardware. When building this out, do not forget to use those washers. Place assembly onto the extended lug nuts and adjust the horizontal position of the bracket assembly to allow clearance for the wheel. Install light and bracket assembly onto the extended lug nuts using the supplied M12 bolt and washers and attach the 6-pin connector. Now, as you can see, installing this is not that difficult. You'll probably get hung up on the wiring, but if you follow those steps and make sure everything's seated in that Deutsch connector properly, you won't have a connection error. Now, when you hit your brakes, it'll look like this. You got that third brake light come on, and it's substantially better than if it was behind the tire, and it's even brighter than your original light as well if it wasn't hidden by the tire. Here's the thing, there's a lot more wiring to be done here. If you want the reverse lights, you do have to tap another wire into the reverse light wiring. If you want the running light function, you have to also run that wiring also. I get that it could be a lot. If you go to Headlight Revolution, you'll notice that we have a whole customer service team standing by to help you if you have any questions regarding the wiring. Make sure you use good wiring. The last thing you want to do is cheap out on wiring, so that way you can have every function that this Chase bar has to offer. For this product or that big Chase universal bar, go to headlightrevolution.com, type in your year, make, and model. We test lighting all the time for every vehicle out there, and we want you to make the best informed decision when shopping with us.